William McCray, this is what Sarasota thought about Ed Mitchell.
Commissioner Turner described he was flabbergasted that Mr. Mitchell didn't know about some of his problems. And my problem is that you get a phone call at 8 o'clock in the evening and told to be at the U.S. Attorney's Office at 9 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, that tells me you got a problem. I don't need to go into much.
That's what Sarasota thought about Ed Mitchell. Corruption in the city led by his administration, this mayor, and the previous mayor is legendary statewide. What's amazing is this dais failed in the responsibility to replace Ed Mitchell and Dorrit Miller. Before the late Bill Moss passed, he told this dais how furious he was that Ed Mitchell withheld evidence and information from this dais to make a decision valued at millions of dollars to the taxpayer on a failed radio system called Open Pockets. He should have been terminated if not prosecuted criminally for this offense alone. I have to applaud Bill Moss for confronting this corruption committed by Ed Mitchell to withhold information pertinent to this dais to make a proper decision. This is the only one minor example of the corruption perpetrated by Ed Mitchell on the taxpayers and citizens of West Palm Beach. There's also the Blue Tarp debacle. There's a HUD debacle for which his administration was responsible for overseeing prior to outsourcing this responsibility for hundreds of thousands of dollars to taxpayers. There was also Ed Mitchell's subordinate who defiantly authorized demolition of a house that had a hold order on it, which cost the taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars as well. Why does Ed Mitchell make more money than Vice President Joseph Biden? Why does Dorrit Miller, his deputy administrator, make almost the same amount as Joseph Biden? The combined salaries are more than $500,000 a year. These two employees are not only responsible for continuing to be parasitic leeches sucking the lifeblood of money out of taxpayers, but they have wasted millions of dollars by failing to perform their jobs and oversee proper city functions. Black employees have been discriminated against to a level that you would believe we are living in the 1920s. It is disgraceful that someone like Keith James would show concern for the minority hiring at the Palm Beach Outlet Construction when he rarely or if ever has shown any pertaining to minorities. This is an election stunt for Mr. Keith James, who needs the minority vote now. Please don't fall for it now. It's too late, Mr. James. Ed Mitchell has now put in for 2 jobs for 2 different municipalities in the Sarasota area. Both failed to hire him because of the corruption they know exists in the city of West Palm Beach. One of those jobs paid $150,000 a year salary. Ed should not get paid 1 cent over $150,000. As a matter of fact, he should be fired. If retained, he should not receive more than $30,000 a year due to his dismal, horrendous performance. Since when does Ed Mitchell get to file complaints on employees at other agencies on an official City of West Palm Beach letterhead? Captain Malley had an inappropriate relationship with female subordinates in his chain of command. It was an egregious violation of command level officer, and termination was recommended and affirmed by Edward Mitchell. Ed then rescinded the termination and gave Captain Malley back his job. This does not and has not happened to any African American in the history of the city of West Palm Beach. If it has, please tell us the name. It's just irresponsible of you. Every day that he stays here and Claudia McKenna stays here, all of you lose credibility in this dais. For him to make $288,000, it is sickening. He should not get that kind of money for the performance that he has delivered to us.
Thank you, Mr. McCray.